Hey y'all, so it is graduation season. Everybody's graduating. Listen, I can't wait until it's my turn to walk across that stage again as well. But that got me to thinking, right? With graduation season being here once again, did you choose the right degree? I want to talk about the steps to make sure that you choose the right degree so that when you walk across that stage, it is everything that you have dreamed and hoped for. But before I get started, please be sure to like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Hey y'all, I just released my first financial literacy ebook, How I Became Debt Free in 22 Months. This is an easy, educational, and encouraging guide. I want you to check it out. It's only $5. Look in the link in the description box below and click that button. So first things first, as cliche as this sounds, what are you actually good at, right? And I'm not talking about those subjects, that you were, maybe you made straight A's in K through 12. Listen, I don't know who needs to hear this, okay? But K through 12 in college are two totally different grading scales and two totally different ball games, right? So what are you actually good at? That is so important, right? And sometimes you really don't know that until you get to college, because there's a lot of folks, listen, who thought they were good in science, right? And then they got to college and they be like, wait a minute, I don't know what science that was that I was learning because I suck at this. So it's important for you to really assess that quickly. I'm going to say within the first 2 semesters, you should really kind of be learning, okay, I'm not as strong as I thought that I was here, but I am, much stronger here. So be actively assessing that. Look at your grades. Look at, when you study, are you able to retain that information? This is so important and, finding out fairly quickly as you're getting a college degree. So here's another thing, y'all. Just because you're good at something, that doesn't mean that you like to do it, right? So I know that sounds kind of silly, right? But there's a lot of things that, I'm good at. Don't mean I actually like to do it, right? So you definitely want to think about that. Am I good at it? And is it something that I'm actually going to like, that I'm going to want to go deeper in, that I'm going to want to excel in, that I'm going to want to really put some time in? Y'all know I'm a lifelong educator, so I love education. That's something like I really, really love. Like I'll never not love, education. So you really have to look at that, because that's really what's going to sustain you, right? Especially in the hard times, you want to make sure that it's something that you actually like doing. Y'all, what will sustain you is the next thing. When I say sustain you, what I mean is what's going to pay them bills, okay? What's going to pay that rent? What's going to, pay for further education? What's going to put gas in the car, food in the fridge? What is going to sustain you, right? Because there's a lot of things that you like doing, that you're good at, but can you make a living from it? That is so important, right? Listen, don't nobody want to be hungry and under a bridge, okay? Let's just talk, frank here, right? So make sure that it is something that will sustain you. I think a lot of times people forget that. Like, are you going to be able to make a living off this, or do you just plan on living in your parents' basement, for the next umpteenth years? Nobody wants to do that. So when you are choosing this degree, once you get into it, you need to be checking the facts to see how this thing is going to make the life that you want and that you are comfortable with. So you're probably wondering, well, how do I know if what I actually like doing, what I'm good at, how do I know that it's going to sustain me, right? There's 2 ways that you can do this. Find somebody who is in the field. So many times I see students that say they want to do this, they want to do that. They have not talked to anybody who's in the field. And I'm not talking about a family member, right? Talk to somebody who you don't know. Talk to somebody who just got in the field. Maybe they've been in the field for 6 months to a year. Talk to somebody who's in that 5 to 7 year range, and then talk to somebody who's in that 10-year range, right? Especially that 10-year person, right? Because they're seasoned at that point. It is so important for you to know what you are getting yourself into. So that's the first way you can figure out, is this going to sustain me? Am I going to actually want to continue doing this thing? The next way is the Occupational Outlook Handbook. Go to Google right now, type in Occupational Outlook Handbook. This is a governmental website that has statistics, labor statistics on like every job that you can think of, right? So I use this as a vocational rehabilitation counselor, and I use it like even to this day when I'm trying to just like research stuff. You can type in just about any job and you can break it down to your area, right? Because there's some jobs that may do well in Florida, but maybe they don't do well in California. So you want to know, like, can I stay where I'm at and do this job, or do I need to move? What are the trends for this job? Is it something that's actually growing and increasing, or is it decreasing? Is it being, replaced by AI? You might want to know that before you invest all this time and money into a college degree, right? So utilize those 2 steps to make sure that you are choosing the right degree. Here's another thing, right, that so many people forget, y'all. Can you get employed right after graduation? I know for me, y'all, I was a teacher, right? So everybody knows that. I was a teacher. My bachelor's is in special education. I graduated in December 2013. I had a job before I even graduated. I got the job like end of November, right? So before I even walked across that stage, your girl had a job secured. She had signed paperwork and all. The only thing I had to do was go to the registrar and get my like conferral paper signed so that I could show my school district that yes, my degree like did go through. I'm just waiting to get it. I'm in the mail. So that is something that is so important. Stop choosing these degrees that you can't even get a job in. Like, come on. Listen, and then what ends up happening is you put all this time and effort into a degree, and now you got to take a low-paying job or a job that has nothing to do with your degree, right? Listen, save yourself the heartache. Ask yourself, can I get a job in this as soon as I graduate? Once I walk across this stage on that Monday morning, that Sunday morning, whatever, am I walking into a job, or am I going back home to scroll on Indeed and cross my fingers and hope I get something? That is not realistic. I see students do this all the time. They got the degree and that's it. They haven't, thought about the steps after that. You need to choose a degree that you can get a job in immediately. Now, there may be some people who maybe, they get their degree and they know that they have to go right into other schooling, right? So somebody like a doctor, you're most likely not going to go into a job, you're going to go to medical school. A lawyer, you're going to go to law school, So I understand those things where you got your bachelor's and you will probably just do something, to kind of help you along the way. I'm not talking about those things, but for us folks who you didn't need, a master's degree, to go ahead and start working, there is no reason why you are choosing a degree that you are not going to be able to get a job in. And this is not something that you're waiting around until like the month of graduation to do. These are things that should be done way before then, right? So that is so important. Choose a degree that as soon as you hit that stage, you're going to hit that job after, okay? So if you're watching this video and you're thinking, oh my gosh, like, I don't think I chose the right degree. Like, what do I do? Listen, it happens, right? You're not an anomaly. You're not the only person that this happens to. But maybe go back and reassess and look into where you went wrong. Look into your overall goal that you had. What is something, that's related to it, that even with a degree that you have, that you can kind of, push your way into that. Maybe you need to take just a few more courses, or maybe like it doesn't even matter. But that's where you really, really want to start, right? Listen, y'all know your girl is a lifelong educator. I'm a doctoral student as well. I just turned in, the second round of my chapter 2. Your girl's going to be walking across that stage again here pretty soon as well. But if you have more questions about college, be sure to check out my All Things College playlist, and also look in the description box and the comment box below. Listen, I do college coaching. I can coach you through this entire process and get you on the track to where you need to be. So click that link now. I'm gonna see y'all later. Bye.